My name's Nick Rowley. I'm a national trial lawyer. My firm is Trial Lawyers for Justice. We're a national law firm, and we try cases in every state in the country. About 3.5 years ago is when I was first contacted by Lee Christie. He reached out to me, said he had a case.
My name is Lee Christie. I'm a plaintiff's trial lawyer in Indianapolis, Indiana at the firm of Christie, Farrell, Lee & Bell. The Dugan case came to me right after it happened, a few days after it happened. Obviously, we've all heard of Nick Rowley. I've followed him and followed Trial by Human, and I thought if he's on board, he would be really, really good.
So I got brought in on the case. And then Katie Marshall was also one of the trial lawyers in the case. My partner, Karen Zotka, who's a very skilled, very wonderful trial lawyer, tried the case with us.
My name is Katie Marshall. I'm a personal injury attorney. I've been working as an attorney for about 11 years now. I work at Christie, Farrell, Lee & Bell.
My name is Karen Zaka. I am a trial lawyer. I am a partner at Trial Lawyers for Justice, and we litigate and try cases all over the country.
It was spring of 2017, and Chris Dugan was on his way to work. He was riding his Harley-Davidson motorcycle.
Chris stopped in at the Speedway gas station, as he did often, and there was a truck that was owned by Tesla with a Tesla employee driving it.
There was a Ford F-250 owned by Tesla that was approaching that same area and was attempting to take a left-hand turn across the lane of traffic that Chris was traveling in. And he ended up doing that and broadsiding Chris and caused a traumatic brain injury and a foot amputation.
One of the worst brain injuries I've ever seen, a partial foot amputation, and a catastrophic change to Chris Dugan's life. Chris Dugan had a pre-existing brachial plexus injury, so he was unable to lift his arm. He also had a prior pre-existing traumatic brain injury. So that's something we had to come into the case with and deal with. You look at a case like this, and the photographs don't tell the story.
And we knew that if we wanted to get this before a jury, we had to have a recreation and show that it was accurate to every degree that we needed to be accurate with all the data points.
The surveillance footage that we had, which we were grateful we had it, but nonetheless it wasn't the best. It was 1 second still frame shots.
What DK Global did was got all of the video footage, worked with an accident reconstructionist, and got everything down to fractions of seconds. We were able to show the jury what happened at 36.2, 36.5, 36.8, the 36.8 second mark. Where were the vehicles? And we were able to tell the story, through not just the presentation that DK Global put together, but you guys organized the evidence for us and showed us stuff that we really hadn't seen from the angle that you were able to see it.
When I came into the DK Global meetings, it was like what I had pictured was there on the screen. And I was so impressed with the details of the lighting conditions, the vehicles that were actually surrounding our client's vehicle, and then the defendant's truck.
Tesla's defense of the case was Mr. Dugan was invisible. What DK Global did was put a camera inside that F-250 and showed actually, no, he was visible. He was visible for 8 out of the 10 seconds that you had spent sitting there.
So we were able to show all the various options through DK Global's recreation that the driver had and the actions that were totally unsafe of the Tesla driver. Tesla had moved two prior times for bifurcation, which we objected to. So the third time, right before trial was scheduled in December, Nick brought his experience to front, and he said,
I said, as long as we have enough time, I'm absolutely fine with bifurcating the case. I told Tesla, I want bifurcation. And to give me 2 weeks to try this case, not just one, you're making a big mistake. They didn't listen.
The jury deliberations were a very interesting experience. We got a message from another juror that said, it's getting hostile in here. Is there anything that can be done?
So it looked like there was going to be a mistrial. And I always try to be optimistic. And I thought, okay, well, I've seen their bag of tricks. There's nothing they're going to pull out that's going to surprise me moving forward. So I said, let's retry it. Let's do it. That's fine. Then I get a text. My phone, blows up. Says they're actually going to keep deliberating. Oh boy, okay. Now at this point, I'm thinking maybe this is going to be bad. 15 minutes later, we had the $60+ million damages verdict.
The jury came back at $60.6 million on the total damages. The liability section came back at 70% liability on Tesla, 30% on the plaintiff.
And so that was reduced by 30% with an ultimate verdict and judgment of about $42 million.
Having DK build this animation for us based on the science and consulting with our own accident reconstruction expert allowed us to illustrate a more cohesive picture and provide context to the jury as to what actually happened and why our client was not the one at fault.
Also, if we wanted something changed, DK Global was on it and making those changes to make it more accurate to what the evidence was. I was very impressed with the timeliness of everything from DK Global.
Trust is everything when it comes to taking a case, preparing a case. Clients are trusting you. So that means that the people I involve with the case, the people that I work with, the lawyers, the paralegals, the team, I have to be able to trust them. I trust DK Global. I've been working with you all as long as I can remember, and you do great work. You're committed, you care, you actually, you get into it. We would not have won this case without DK Global.